Today's accident follows this one that happened on 295 yesterday, where the driver was killed when her car became lodged underneath a semi-truck. It's brought a lot of questions about road and tractor trailer safety, especially when it comes to a safety bar on the backs of trucks that's supposed to keep yesterday's accident from happening. Well, tonight we spoke with a Florida mother who lost her daughter to a similar semi-crash and has now made it her mission to spread awareness. On your side's Camera Leppinger brings us details on her proposed legislation that aims to prevent what are known as underride deaths.
In 2004, an underride crash killed Florida native Roya Sadie. It happened the day before Thanksgiving while she and her fiancé were driving through Indiana when their car slid underneath the side of a semi. Her fiancé survived. Since then, Sadie's mother has dedicated her life to spreading awareness about the dangers of underrides.
We think that these kinds of crashes can be made more survivable, and it's just very sad to see another young life lost.
According to the U.S. Government Accountability Office, from 2008 to 2017, there's been an estimated 219 fatal underride crashes. The agency also says that hundreds more of these crashes also go unreported. Since her daughter's death, Hawkins has helped draft legislation called the Stop Underrides Act. The bill calls for requiring side and front guards on all tractor trailers and upgrading current rear guard equipment.
Without underride protection, it's a roving guillotine because people go under and they die.
The bill has already garnered support from Senator Marco Rubio, and Hawkins says truck advocates like her are waiting on Senator Rick Scott's support.
If the car's bumper has something to engage with, it'll trigger the crumple zones, airbags, seat belts, and people actually walk away from those crashes.
Camera Leppinger, First Coast News, on your side.